The thing that for me is most key in my work, and the thing that I've learned through my career, is to slow down. Photography is so fast and everybody's working so fast, and what you do is you miss the connection with people. You know, I talk about observing things and observing what's going on. You can only do really that when the camera's down. So all that process happens, which is why film is a kind of perfect marriage for me. It means that I do slow down. It means I work in a very, very different way. So it's not about the quantity of photographs. It is quite literally the quality. You know, I can tell a story in 3 photographs. Maybe I only need to shoot 3 or 4 frames. And film helps me to slow down. It means that I'm not looking at the back of the camera and checking out the images. It means other people are not doing that as well, which can often be very distracting. So film enables me to spend more time, or forces me to spend more time, engaging with the subject, talking to them, observing them, just being around. But there's a lot more than that with film. You know, film, for me, is a much better creative medium. I kind of know what film is going to produce. I get the faults in it. I like the grain. I like the fact that it's not about being pin sharp. It's not about the perfection of the image. And as a storyteller, I think film is the best medium you could possibly use. And I'm seeing it in a young generation of photographers who are discovering it, and they find it liberating. They find that they're not so worried about the technical aspects, because if you shoot digital, you're always trying to technically improve, and you're always looking how you can improve, and you're thinking technical. Film kind of takes you away from that. Film means that the camera kind of gets on with it, does its own job. It becomes this vehicle for your voice. As I say, I am a kind of a romantic when it comes to film, but I spent several years where I did go and shoot on digital. And I kind of just didn't enjoy the photography as much as just having, you know, roll of film in my pocket, taking it out, putting it in the camera, and taking those images. But as I said, there's also some real practical elements. If I'm shooting somebody's portrait, I'll be there, I'll be taking my photograph on a medium format camera, so maybe I've got 9 frames. Now, I take my 9 frames, I have to put my camera down, I have to load the roll of film. When I do that, I'm using a different part of my brain. And quite often when I'm doing that, that pause, that moment that film gives me, is when I suddenly go, oh no, I'm doing this all wrong. I need to rethink the lighting, or I need to think the setup. So the process of film as well is, I think, a very good way of working. So not only does it slow you down, not only does it mean you get a better connection with people, but it actually helps me, the process, to create better photographs. So, you know, actually when you look at it, film is fantastically simple. It's a very easy process. You can take it anywhere in the world, any circumstances, and create images very, very easily. When I was putting together this book and exhibition, one of the stories I was doing was in Lesvos, in the islands there. And it was the first time I was around a lot of the kind of the big names of photojournalism. I'm a bit of a loner, and I'm normally going to places where the stories are not so sort of known. So suddenly I'm there, and I've got all these famous photographers. And one of the kind of the funny things was every evening they're trying to find somewhere where they could upload their photographs. So there was like maybe 2 restaurants, and you would go in there and it'd be like a who's who of famous, you know, war correspondents around the world, all with their laptops, all desperately fighting for the sort of the broadband. And I'd be like, guys, you know, I just put my stuff in the post box and I'll see you down the bar. So, you know, sometimes it can be really, really practical. And I think there's this sort of illusion that digital is easier. We're always being challenged to move on, you know, by technology. Oh, you've got to have this now, you've got to have this now, this is better, this is better. And I'm like, well, slow down. You know, is it better for me? Photography is a conversation between me and the person I'm photographing. And the camera is a tool for doing that. But if it becomes the focus, if you're thinking about the camera, then you've lost that connection. So for me, a film like HP5, I know it so well. I trust it. I know that it will have consistent results. I know I can be a little bit, you know, on latitude with my exposures. I can get things a little bit wrong. And it gives me that freedom so that I don't think about it. And really that's the best film, the best camera, the best setup should be one you don't think about. To tell people stories, to do documentary, there is nothing better than film.